Hello, this video is brought to you by my supporters on Patreon and my members on YouTube. Minasan, arigatou gozaimasu. My name is Kurt, and today is the 22nd day of December 2023. Can you believe it's almost Christmas? I do this video each and every day. It's called my Good Life Meditation, and I do it to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone, which you can get a copy of from the link down in the description. I recommend the hardbound edition. And I got some interesting video clips yesterday from Going Alone, spotted crossing the Australian outback. How exciting. I also use this time to think about the last 24 hours and how I did with the challenges and opportunities that I met. I prepare for the coming day, and then I ready myself to die. But before I do any of that, I like to have a read of a poem. So we're going to read now again Edward Thomas's, I think it's called The Barn, or no, yeah, The Barn. Here we go. I read it a couple of days. Let's see if I can get a good, solid reading through. The Barn. They should never have built a barn there at all. Drip, 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 under that elm tree. Though then it was young, now it is old, but good, not like the barn in me. Tomorrow they cut it down. They will leave the barn, as I shall be left, maybe. What holds it up? 'Twould not pay to pull down. Well, this place has no other antiquity. No abbey or castle looks so old as this that Job Knight built in '54. Built to keep corn for rats and men. Now there's fowls in the roof, pigs on the floor. What thatch survives is dung for the grass, the best grass on the farm. A pity the roof will not bear a mower to mow it, but only fowls have foothold enough. Starlings used to sit there with bubbling throats, making a spiky beard as they chattered and whistled and kissed with heads in air till they thought of something else that mattered. But now they cannot find a place among all those holes for a nest any more. It's the turn of lesser things, I suppose. Once I fancied 'twas starlings they built it for. I like that. And now I get it about the roof. Every time I read it, a little more uncovers. It's like the Bible. Every time I read a passage, I get a little more. Every time I read a chapter, every time I read the book. But now I get it. What thatch survives is dung for the grass. So the grass growing on the roof, and the thatch, the old thatch below, is rotting away, and it's the now feeding and caring for the grass, which is so healthy. And he says, if only a mower could get up there, but only the birds. Okay, I think I got that one. I enjoyed that. All right, so now, what about last night and yesterday? I slept really good last night. I mean, just gone. The sleep of death. It was that deep and good, and I feel really good as a result. And one of the things I did was I was off yesterday. Again, I wasn't feeling so good, but I was busy. I just kept myself sequestered in here. I was busy nonetheless. I did a lot of work, and mostly I stood all day, and I cleaned up and prepared for Japan by moving around stuff. I don't have a lot to sort anymore because we've moved so many times that every time we move, we lighten our lives. There's not much left. So I did good. It was a good, productive day yesterday. I finished everything I wanted to do, and I got some good rest. Got some good reading in too. Reading this book right now. It's taking me a long time to read because I keep studying and thinking about it. It's called A Billion Wicked Thoughts. What Google, more than a decade of Google search regarding sex tells us about human sexuality. Fascinating stuff. A lot of what we do makes a lot more sense now. Because the reason it's important relative to other types of studies is that with other types of studies related to sex, people are not typically not too anonymous, and they're a little reluctant to say what they want, but people's anonymous or even non-anonymous searches on the internet reveal what's really going on in their minds. So that was yesterday. I didn't get really ambushed by anything. Oh, we did get ambushed by rain. Yumiko and I took the dogs for a walk in the evening, and I spotted the dark. It was night, but I spotted the darker than dark coming in from the southwest, and lightning flashing. And I said, we better head back. It's going to rain. I checked the little radar, saw a big wall of green coming our way. Yumiko said, let's just keep on going. And we got soaked, made a nice, memorable night of it. And I realized that's also one of the reasons, one of the things I love about Yumiko is as common sense, she has much common sense, and as practical as she is, she's also an adventurer. So that was that. Let's do the Good Life Creed. 8 objectives and 30 principles. And as usual now, I will dwell on one of the objectives or principles as I go. Today it's going to be objective to cultivate good emotional reactions. So what I do is I'll just list through them. Then when I get to that one, I'll dwell on it a little more. Here we go. The 8 objectives. And you can find these in my book in the chapter titled The Good Life. The objectives are to be always ready to die, to make good and effective use of time, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, to cultivate good emotional reactions. What that means is that I want to become a person who doesn't fly off the handle, who can ambush my own rising emotions before they release into action and words, so that I can basically husband what I'm going to say or do to put on a more mature. Is it a facade? I guess it is a facade if I'm managing it that way. Facade. The Japanese have a way of putting on of describing it your public face. Because I want to be in control of what's going on in circumstance where decorum and etiquette are expected, such as at work, in social settings, even when I'm with my family in certain circumstances. Even if I'm just with my family, in most cases, I don't want to be flying off the handle. So whatever's going on inside with emotions and feelings and thoughts, emotions and feelings feel like they come from here, and thoughts feel like they're up here. What's happening here is pretty standard and plain. It takes practice, and age really helps. Now that I'm closing in on 60, it's a lot easier. It's a whole lot easier than ever before, largely because a lot of these internal churning engines have mellowed out. The one inside here is definitely calm compared to what it was in my 20s and 30s, etc. And the one up here is a lot more managed than ever before. So yeah, cultivating good emotional reaction. Cultivating means like pruning and touching and seeing things. And what it really means is not just waiting for the ambush to come, but cultivating to kind of manage what's happening inside of my mind and body in such a way that I can head off the emotional highs and lows at the past. I pretty much have. Even the stuff that might really frustrate me just kind of sits there like on the back burner of the stove on low heat. I can see it bubbling there, but it has no danger of overflowing anymore. That's roughly speaking, right? The next is to perform good actions, to recognize true limits and true opportunities, to do just one thing at a time and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully. I got to 8 too soon. And then last, to keep my balance. I think I got them all. Strange, I came up with 9. Maybe I did one twice. Okay. Here we go with the principles. Let's see if I can get 35. War, reason, homunculus, anchorhold, home of good and evil, purpose, atomic principle, nature, pirate ride, maturity, social principle, family, public speaking, temperance, life will not go well, the horror show, that which must be born, the feast of offal, distraction, agency and the great indifference. The best seat in the house, the restless man, the path of wildness, the great life adventure, the risk of avoiding risk, sin and damnation, complete oblivion. Season of philosophy, script writing, the bullseye aim, the uphill climb, arena and utility, nothing is enough, the principle of fun, and being prepared. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I got them. Okay, now for what I'm going to do today, you can see I have my two columns here. This is my personal column and this is my work column. The personal column I usually get knocked off. It's a work day, so I usually get that knocked off pretty quickly, even before I start work. I got to put down the party. So poem, read. Good life meditation, doing that now. YouTube videos, comments, I've already responded to those. Meta comments, I've already responded to those. Email, I've already addressed all of that. Book to Juliana, which I have right here. I'm working on the illustration for that. I'll do that during my breaks and lunch. And then the party, you can see that I've crossed off almost everything I need to do today already. It's only 5:05 a.m. What remains is all the work stuff I need to do. So today I'm going to catch up on my email. I'll prepare a status report for my project. I have a meeting with another project manager for the vendor. We'll also talk about the customer sponsors new requested deliverable. I have a training I need to engage in. I need to prepare. That's just a placeholder for next week, for Monday. I need to prepare a change order within the organization. And then set up a meeting with Johnny's office assistant. That's my day. Oh, and then I said I had a good party. Am I ready for death? Are my affairs in order? Well, maybe that's why I feel so good this morning, especially after the organization I did yesterday. My affairs are strictly in order. Man, I even completed some updates on Going Alone, another update. Yeah. My affairs in order. My relationships are sound. And my life's work is complete. All three things are in good shape. I'm ready for death. So if an aneurysm takes me, or a heart attack bowls me over, or I get run over by a truck, I can leave life now without a single backwards glance. Or even if it takes me out slowly. Good emotional reactions, right? All right. I wish you all the best. Be safe, but not too safe. Take care. Oh, did I say it's day 359 in my countdown to retirement? 359 days left. Yep. Take care. I will move forward and up. I will rarely stop, and I will never